Hey guys, happy Sunday. I hope you're well. Here we go then with the weekly reading. So this is where I'm going to pull 7 cards to represent the 7 days ahead, and we're going to see what the week has in store for us. I always extend this reading on YouTube. You can search Microblonde Tarot, or the link is in my bio. Just be careful of any scammers reaching out in your DMs. That is not me. Alright, let's see what the week has in store. The Emperor, the 6 of Cups, the 2 of Pentacles, the Moon, the 5 of Cups, the King of Pentacles, and the Queen of Swords. Okay, let's go through it. So, opening with the Emperor. The Emperor is a very powerful masculine energy, and it's all around kind of sitting back before you make your move here with the chess piece. So, it can be about contemplating something before you take action. It's a very strong fire energy, particularly Aries. It can represent you. We've all got masculine and feminine energy within us. So it can represent you contemplating something, observing something, figuring something out before you make some kind of move or decision. Sometimes it will be a masculine energy around you, but there is no one above the Emperor. The Emperor is like a position of leadership, success, recognition, respect, things like this. I don't always love the Emperor in love readings, because sometimes for me it reads as a very kind of selfish, controlling kind of energy. But it doesn't have to be taken that way. And in the weekly reading, I wouldn't take it that way. We will obviously see what happens when we clarify. But the Emperor here at the beginning of the week, I think, is a message about contemplating something and gathering all of your information and sitting back for a second before you make a decision or before you make your next move. If it is someone around you, it can be someone in a position of leadership, management, a boss. Sometimes it can represent success with business as well, and recognition in terms of reputation and things like that. So keep those things in mind, and we'll see what happens when we clarify. On day 2, we get the 6 of Cups. So the 6 of Cups is about history and past and thinking back. Okay, so it can be that you're in a very nostalgic energy, that you're thinking back about something that's happened or somebody from the past. This is one of the strongest indicators linked to the past, and it can sometimes represent past connections resurfacing, whether this is, you know, a family fallout or, you know, like a friend that you've not seen for years. Occasionally it can be like an ex resurfacing or something like that, but it's history, it's longevity, it's thinking back. It's a very nostalgic energy. You might find yourself looking through old photos, replaying old conversations, rereading old letters, whatever it might be. It's a nostalgic, reminiscent kind of energy. So we will see what that's linked to. And then we get day 3, the 2 of Pentacles. So the 2 of Pentacles can be about juggling, and it can be juggling responsibilities, juggling too much pressure. It's basically you've got everything going on. So sometimes the 2 of Pentacles is about trying to find balance and actually putting something down. So if you're finding at the middle of the week you're agreeing to too many things, you're saying yes to too many you know, responsibilities, it's about reassessing and trying to rebalance things. Pentacles is often to do with work, money, home, stability. So these are the areas that it's likely to be affecting. So maybe you're taking on too much, or you're doing too much overtime, or you've just got too much going on and something's got to give, okay, is what I would say. And in day 4, we get the Moon. The moon's been coming up quite a bit recently. We have just had a full moon as well last weekend. So the moon can be about emotion, okay? It can be you're feeling emotions very strongly, and sometimes it can be overwhelming. It can be a feeling of drowning in your own emotions. But often for me, the moon is more about the light shining on something and revelations, okay? So it could be somebody reveals their feelings or emotions towards you. It could be that emotions are running high and you're finding that a bit uncomfortable. But more often than not, for me, it's about something being revealed, something you were unaware of, or, you know, something maybe that you've been wondering about becomes clear. You know, it's illuminated. Something becomes illuminated, something becomes clear. Okay, day 5, the 5 of Cups. This week, I would say there's quite a lot of past energy being relevant, because the 5 of Cups can also be about looking back and dwelling on something. So there's 5 cups, 3 are spilled, but 2 are still standing. But it's almost like this person can't see it because they're dwelling on what has gone, or what has not worked out, or what has been lost. So this can sometimes be a message that you need to try to lift your head up and see where you're going rather than where you've been or what has been. Sort of not dwelling on the worst case scenario and allowing yourself to spiral into that energy. It can also represent feelings of regret or guilt or sadness. And sometimes this is not going to be you directly. There could be someone else that is feeling that way around a situation that might be involving you. But if this is you and you're feeling particularly low and you're kind of going round and round and round in this black hole energy, it is time to try to lift your head up and pull yourself free from that, because it's almost like I want to say you can't change what's already happened, but you can change how you react going forward. Okay. Day 6, the King of Pentacles. So traditionally the King of Pentacles is an older energy, masculine. It can represent things like father, husband. It's a very successful, stable kind of energy. It can represent somebody that is doing very well for themselves in business. It can also represent things like investment. So there could be someone around you that wants to help you out, that wants to give you some money, that wants to support you in some way. And yes, this can be family or partner. The King of Pentacles has taken a long time to achieve what they have, but now they've achieved it, they want to help, they want to share it, they want to invest it. So it could be to do with business, it could just be to do with, you know, family or partner wanting to help out. It could be that they are doing particularly well at this time and therefore they want to share in that success in some way. Okay, and then day 7, the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords, I think she came out last week, perhaps the week before. The Queen of Swords is a very logical energy. It's air sign energy, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, and it is about planning. So she's thinking, she's contemplating. She does have emotion, she does have heart, but at the moment it's like you can't lead with the heart, you have to lead with your logic. So on day 7, there could be something where you're being asked to think more carefully, and instead of kind of leaning into how you feel about something, it's a message about trying to be more logical about it, thinking, planning, understanding, analysing. Sometimes the Queen of Swords comes off as maybe cold or harsh. She can represent quite straight talking communication. That may be how you're feeling towards the end of next week, like you just say it how it is, you're not going to mess around. But that is the energy at the end of the week. So overall, the strongest energies that I get this week seem to be linked to the past, or reminiscing or dwelling or something like that. But with the moon here, there could be clarity, there could be something that becomes illuminated. It could be reconnection as well. That can be taken that way. And with the King of Pentacles, it could be reconnection with family. Or somebody that you feel maybe hasn't supported you is now going to step forward to support you. So we're going to clarify using a second deck, as I always extend this reading. If you can stick around, please do. If not, I'll see you soon. Okay, let's clarify the reading then, starting with day 1, the Emperor. So, as lots of you know, if you watch me regularly, the Emperor is not one of my favourite energies, but in this instance, it may not be the case. So let's give him the benefit of the doubt and see, why is the Emperor here? The Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, the Ace of Swords. Okay, interesting. So this is about taking your time, or someone around you taking their time. The Knight of Pentacles is a very slow moving, cautious kind of energy. And this really ties into what we were saying with the Emperor sitting back and contemplating something before making their move. Clarity, you know, finding clarity, finding the truth of a situation. So if you're about to confront somebody or go into some sort of conflict, it's about having the clarity and the truth before you do that. And then the Knight of Swords, action. Okay, so the message definitely at the beginning of the week is either that you've got someone around you that is looking at all the facts and finding out all the information before they contact you or before they move something forward towards you. Or if this is you, it's saying don't rush in before you've got all of the information, okay? Don't speak before you've got all of the power. Okay, day 2, the 6 of Cups. I've got a really itchy nose today. What does that mean? Coming into money? Coming into money. The 6 of Cups, we've got a few cards jumping out here. Page of Cups, so there could be some kind of incoming communication or offering. The Page of Cups can represent inconsistent energy though. Oh, really itchy nose. Someone let me know what that means. Inconsistent energy, so this could be linked to the past, someone that's been inconsistent, hot and cold, or in and out of your life. The King of Swords sometimes is communication, okay, communication with clarity, but you may be defensive about this, okay, or maybe they're fearful that you're going to be defensive about this. Yeah, this is to do with an ending, the Ten of Swords. So this is to do with someone that you've not spoken to, or you've had a definite clear ending with at some point, and maybe they've still been popping in and out. There's still been some kind of up and down, you know, with this person, and I feel like maybe they've been giving something some thought. Maybe they are the one in that nostalgic energy, or you both are. Maybe you're both picking up on that energy. It's just saying go a little bit careful, because there is still a little bit of an inconsistent energy with this. So although they may reach out, although they may want to reconnect, just be careful that, you know, you're not going to get yourself back in a situation of inconsistency and then feeling, you know, emotionally up and down all the time. Okay, Two of Pentacles, juggling too much, sometimes work, money, home, family. Let's see. One of the cards already turned. Let me just find that one. Temperance, balance, how funny. So you get Two of Pentacles, which is about juggling too much and needing to put something down to find balance. Clarified by Temperance, definitely about balance. Emotional balance, the Ace of Cups. It's like you're giving too much. You're pouring from an empty cup. You're giving too much. Yes, it can be tangible, work, money, things like that. But maybe emotionally you're giving too much, because the cups are all around emotion. And Temperance also here seems to have a lot of water as she's exchanging the water between these two cups. So it could be that emotionally you're giving too much and you need to try to let something go or pull back your energy. We got the Death card here, not a physical death, but it is like a rebirth energy. So you could be finding yourself, again, an energy of maybe going around in cycles and just feeling like, you know, you're always trying to weigh things up. You're always trying to figure things out. One more. Four of Swords. Yeah, focusing on yourself. Four of Swords is about healing and kindness and self-love and self-care. Focus more on yourself and less on other people at this time around the middle of the week, okay? Then we get the Moon, day 4, Major Arcana. Two Major Arcanas this week, the Emperor and the Moon. The Moon. Why are you here? That one wants to come out. 9 of Cups, good. 3 of Cups, okay, celebration, positivity. So whatever this kind of information or illumination is by the Moon, it's actually very positive. The 3 of Cups is celebration, sometimes around friends and group celebrations. The 9 of Cups is emotional fulfillment, happiness, completion, and the Fool. So there's something about new journeys, new beginnings, new adventures. Maybe that's why you're feeling a little bit overly emotional. Maybe some of you are starting something new towards the end of the week, like a new job or a new relationship or a new something, and maybe that's why you feel a little bit in your feelings, you know, a little bit emotionally fraught. But it is positive. It is extremely positive. 2 of Swords, yeah, it's almost like maybe you just feel like, have I made the right decision? You have made the right decision. You have made the right choice. It's just, yeah, maybe you just need that moment of clarity to feel, you know, all right about it. The 5 of Cups, what are you dwelling on? What are you dwelling on? Or who? Or what? Or how? What is going on here with the 5 of Cups, I wonder? Let's see. 6 of Swords, moving forward. So it's funny here that the 5 of Cups is about dwelling on the past or ruminating on something. And then the 6 of Swords is about moving forward to calmer waters. So it's definitely saying that whatever this is, you need to leave the past in the past. You can't change it. You're not going backwards, you're going forwards. And as you move forward, things become more calm, more settled. Again, here with the Empress, this can sometimes represent creating something new, feminine energy, feminine relationships like mother, daughter, child, things like that. But the Empress is also about prioritising yourself. So there's quite a lot of energy here this week about prioritising yourself. It's funny that we've got Emperor, Empress, because sometimes this can be taken as like twin flame connection, soulmate connection. Maybe there's something that's happened. If it's something like an argument or a misunderstanding that you're dwelling on, feeling bad about, feeling guilty about, it's like leave it behind. Like, let's move forward now. Let's not dwell on what's happened. Let's not dwell on the upset. Let's move forward. So it can still be taken as a positive. It's not necessarily saying you're having to leave someone behind, but you're having to leave the energy of whatever it is, you know, that is maybe, you know, going round and round and round in your head. Oh, my nose is so itchy. I hope that means money. Oh, let's all pray for lottery win for each other. Okay, King of Pentacles, day 6. Let's see. It could just be cat fur, to be fair. King of Pentacles. Let's see. Day 6. Oh, 10 of Cups. Nice. 2 of Wands. The World. Okay. Well, 10 of Cups is about sort of completion, happiness, emotional fulfillment, and it can be about family. So there could be a family celebration, or this could be a family member that wants to support in some way, or even maybe they're traveling to come and see you. The World can represent travels, cycles, chapters, and the 2 of Wands can be about sort of taking hold of something new. So it could be that there is a new opportunity or a reconnection. As I said, the King of Pentacles can represent like father, husband, partner, older kind of male energy that wants to share their success in some way. Okay, day 7, the Queen of Swords. Being logical, planning, thinking. Queen of Swords, what are you thinking about? What is it you're thinking about? Let's see. Queen of Swords. 5 of Cups again. Stop dwelling on the past. Stop thinking of the worst case scenario. You need to unburden yourself. 10 of Wands. You need to unburden yourself. It's like battle. Like, know when to give up the battle, or know when to stop battling with your own self. Because you've got 5 of Swords and 5 of Cups. And this was similar to last week, because the 5s represent change. So there needs to be some sort of change. It's almost like you're holding on to a grudge. You're holding on to some sort of resentment. And if this is the case, it's like you just need to talk about it. You need to say what's on your mind. The 8 of Wands, communication. Instead of kind of thinking about something and blowing it into this terrible situation that you just can't get out of your head, it's like you need to actually speak the truth. You need to get your truth out about how you're feeling. Yeah, there needs to be an exchange. 6 of Pentacles. So whatever it is that's bothering you towards the end of next week, instead of kind of driving yourself nuts with it, speak up about it. Right, let's see what the Oracle wants to add. Let's see what the Oracle wants to add to the week. Okay. New arrival. So some of you, there's like new opportunities. Yes, it can represent new baby or pregnancy, but it's not always the case. Just new energy, something new coming towards you. Passion, desire and fantasy. So for some of you, this is a new romance or a new romantic connection or reconnection. Yeah, there's a lot of fire here. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Passion, fire, inspiration. Dream big. Dream big. And we've got true love, soulmates, past life. It's interesting that we keep getting this word past, because we're actually out of retrograde now. So all of that past energy resurfacing should actually be done with now. But you never know. This week, I think it's time to drop the grudge, let the past go, and try to find some sort of forgiveness, maybe. Maybe someone's going to ask you for forgiveness. It's an interesting one. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you soon.